Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today I'm going to go over the cards and gifts I got for Christmas from friends and show you how I make a bunch of cards to refill my stash, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, first of all, let me go over the cards I got. I have this really pretty one that I got from my friend Elizabeth. It's really gorgeous, really pretty. And then this one I really liked because it was a postcard that replicated one that I made last year at Christmas, only hers has got like a gold ink on it. Really pretty. And that's from Becky. I didn't know if I said that already. Then this one is, oh wait, did I put it on? Do I have it upside down? Nope, I got it right side up. Sorry about that. This and a couple others, I think, are from my friend Frances. Hold on, let me find them. I know that Frances made this really, really gorgeous cross-stitch one. It's really pretty, isn't it? And I don't know how she gets it in there and has such a flat image, but her paper on the outside is kind of, it's textured, and it almost looks like stone. It's really pretty. Anyway, that's from Frances, and this one is from Frances, and she also sent me some gifts. Then this one is from Rebecca Walton from Rubber Stamp Tapestry, using her peg stamps. Really pretty, and I like how she did this. She actually stamped this with small stamps and then embossed it. I think that's really cool. It might be some kind of cool, I guess it's just paper. I was thinking it was maybe like a paper towel, because that's a big thing now. People are embossing paper towels. If you want me to try that, I'll give that a whirl on a video. And I like how she went around the outside with this glittery, I don't know if it's stickles or just glitter glue, but it's really pretty. Then this is one, this is really funny. My friend Janice always, when she signs her name, it looks like Louise. So she always signs her cards, AKA Louise. So it always makes me laugh right before I open and show them. Anyway, that one's funny. Oh, here's something else that Frances made me. Tell me she's not a talented cross-stitcher. I did cross-stitch in the early 80s, and then when my hands got bad, I couldn't anymore, but it was so beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Then this one, I have to say, is by far the funnest. Funnest? Is that a word? The most fun card I got for Christmas. And I'm really sorry, cats, because I did not open this the whole way until just today. Because I looked at it like this, and for some reason thought, okay, and looked at the back and read what you wrote. But I didn't realize that it's it's like a card that does, hold on, I had it earlier. Okay, you have to have it all the way open like that, flat, and then it does this, and then it does this. Come on, tell me that's not the funnest thing you ever saw. All right, I'll go with most fun, but tell me that's not cool. And Katz is a lovely woman. She has 4 sons that they just finished the adoption of 2 of the 4 right before Christmas, and they were foster kids. All 4 were foster kids that she's adopted. I think she's a lovely woman. Just could do this all day. If you want to see me make this card, I will find out how Katz did it, and then I will give it a whirl. But tell me it's not the most fun thing you ever saw. Anyway, this is the card that I got from Katz. So much fun. If any of you sent me a card and I didn't show it, I apologize. My craft room is a crazier mess than usual. If I panned around this room, you would gasp and start to cry for me. I honestly think so. Now, I got these from my friend Frances, but I could have got some of them from Kath from England, because I know she used to send me some of these. So if some of them are not from Frances, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm so sorry. But that's the way I get confused. So some of these are fall inspired. This one is called Fabulous Fall, and these are 3D push outs. And these are owls. And this one is like dragons and magically themed. This one is really pretty, hydrangea, and I'm going to use some of these on the cards I'm making today. And these ones are flowers, winter birds. And then this one is angels, so cute. This brand HunkyDory is a brand out of the UK, and you can find them on Crafts USA. If you're wondering. And then here's another one. These ones, there are a bunch of just variety in this one, I think. And they're all really a lot of fun. So we'll give some of them a whirl today and see how good I am at using them. I think I will play with the birds and the hydrangeas. But I might look through this one and see what I think about that one too. But I like to show you what I've done. Oh, I also think maybe I might play with these owls because I need to have some male inspired cards. And the cards I'm making, I am not going to be putting a sentiment on because I think they'll be easier to make now with no sentiment and later add a sentiment. So that's my thinking. So let me grab some supplies and we'll get started. Well, I forgot to film this part, but I really didn't think you need to see it anyway because it's basic, just gluing things in place. These are the cards I made using the HunkyDory, I think they're called. I'll show you. I glued some ribbon in place, basically, and then used fun foam underneath, and then hot glued them in place. This was a cute one. These were the ones that were in the pack of loose ones. So I'm not exactly sure what the names of those were. Aren't they fun? Here's the last one. It's a biggie. Okay, then I'm going to show you. I had some of these 3D images, and they are really fun. Here's the owl. Can you see him? I put that on kind of a crazy base. And then here are some little birdies, and I thought I would show you how to do it because it's pretty easy. And here's the one. It's called the one with the owls, and it is SB10486. And then the other one is Keep It Cool 3D Push Outs, and it is SB10308. And I'll make sure I put that information below. And if I can find a link online, I'll give you that too. You know, I always recommend that you look online for other links other than the one I give you, because I just find a link for you. And if you can find one that's cheaper, I would rather you use the one that's cheaper, if you know what I mean. It would make me happy. Okay, so I'm going to make one more of these blue ones with birds on them. These are really kind of fun to make. You're going to use on this piece, at least I did, I used it on, I made this one be my flat surface because I didn't think it should be so three-dimensional that, you know, if you use the foam under each layer of this, you're going to end up with a really, really, really high piece. So I'm recommending that you not use foam under this layer. And I'm just going to glue it down with my wet glue. This, oh, I'll tell you, on the actual background, it'll show you, hold on, 1, see right there, there's a 1. Then there's a 2, then there's a 3, then there's a 4. That's the layers. So this is your bottom layer, your second layer up, your third layer up, and then your fourth one is your top layer. So that's how it works, in case you wondered. So if you have, like I already cut mine out, or pulled mine out of the backing, and these little mini foam squares, I don't even know where I got them. I think somebody gave them to me, if I have to be honest. And if you gave them to me, I'm so sorry. I don't remember where I got them. This makes me feel very, very badly. Here's our second layer. And we're going to line that up with the bottom and with the other points. Like right here I've got some points, and over here I have a point. So you want to make sure you get all those lined up if you can. Then we're going to lay this one again with our points where we want them. And then last but not least is this one. And when you get to the top layer, you have a very thin layer usually, and so it makes it a little bit tricky to put your foam adhesives on. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down some of the layers that are not glued, foam squared. I'm just going to glue them to the lower layer, the next layer down. That way, if you have a little issue with them coming up, that you'll be able to end up with them not ripping off, because what will happen is when you go to put this into your envelope, these layers that are so loose, they'll end up ripping off, and you don't want that. So that's why I hot glue them or glue them down. Okay, so let's go on to our next kind of card. So what I'm going to be using are these 4 stamps, and I'll tell you who they're from and what they're called. This one is from Rubbernecker Stamps. It's called Poppy Background or Poppy's Background. Then this is from the Ton, and it is called, it's a secret, hold on, gotta find that name, Peony Garden. Then this one is from Rubbernecker Stamps, and it's called Abstract Roses. And then lastly, this is from Unity Stamps, and it is Obsessed with Florals. So I thought what I would do is walk you through how to do this. And it's a very simple process if you've ever done it before, and if you haven't, then you're in for a treat. So the first thing I've done is I've cut 2 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock into 6 by 6 squares. And I'm going to be using those as what I'm going to stamp with. And the other thing I've done is I've gotten all of my embossing powders I want to use. So I'm going to be using, these are both from Ranger, they're golds. So the first thing we want to do is, I know these pieces of cardstock are bigger than what I'm using, but after I've heat set it, then I'll be able to hold onto the edges when I'm doing my watercoloring, and that's what I think I'm going to do with either a watercolor pencil or Watercolors, the actual paints. I haven't decided yet. This is the easiest way to do any kind of major big stamps. You hold the bottom and you just rub it. You don't end up with a missing section in the middle. Even with the Misty, I don't seem to have as good of result as I do with when I use this method. At least that's what I think. Alright, so let's try one of our golds, and I have some scrap paper here that I'm going to use to put the excess on. And that's why these clean, or not having my pattern go all the way to the edge, is really helpful when I'm doing this. I don't know if you can see this, but now I don't have my fingers in it as much as I normally would. See how I have fingerprints on the side there? I have a little brush here that I'm going to use to take any of my excess powder off. And mostly my powders are in the parts that are on the edges. I have this little section right in here that I want to get it off. I'm going to heat set them as I go because I think it will help you if you're newer to embossing. This also makes it nice when you have the sides that are not part of your project because you can hold it when you're doing your heat embossing without getting burned, and that's nice. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the rest of them. I didn't think you'd need to watch me stamp more or emboss them. But what I want to do with all of them is at some point after I've finished them, then I'm going to cut them into pieces. I'm only going to have maybe a 2-inch piece or a 3-inch piece, just depending on how big the actual finished stamp is. So I'll be back once I finished heat embossing everything. So I've painted a lot of my backgrounds, and I thought I would paint one on camera so that you got an idea of what I was doing. This one is just a mixture of orange and reds. This one is a bunch of different colors, obviously. This is my poppy, and this is another one that's just one color. And I thought what I would do with this one, I've already painted the background color, and I'm using these brushes. They're from Creative Mark. Here's the bigger one. I could probably read it, huh? Polar Flow. This is a number 8, and this one is a number 2. And I'm mixing orange. Hold on, I'll get my paint so hopefully you can see them. These are Pretty Excellent paints. I like them. That's the name of them, Pretty Excellent. And I'm going to be using this bright orange. And I've already done this up in here, but I'm going to show you how I did it. And what I did was I put more orange than I did red. The orange was already there. And so what I did was I mixed them together, and then I decided if I had enough of the red or if I had enough of the orange. I'm going to do the centers. Oh, I should have done those first. Of course, I forgot to do those. I'm going to use my number 2 for that. And I'm going to do the third yellow in, and that is cad yellow, in case you wondered. Woo! Okay, well, whatever. And I'm just going to drop in a bunch of it into this little center of these little, I guess they're stamen, because it's really tricky to get them to get the paint to go in them, because the embossing powder that is raised, and it makes it so that the paint doesn't want to go in there, if you know what I mean. And I decided I would do this with you as quickly as I can, because I didn't think you'd really want to watch me paint for an hour. And I'll probably, since I'm going to do all of the same paint color, I think what I'll do is I will have Rich fast forward through it so that you don't have to watch me do this forever. Okay, so that is this one. And then all I have to do is this one, and then I'll be done with coloring. And I think what I'll do with this one is just do it off camera like I did the other ones, because otherwise it'll take me forever. I had these cards, I think I already explained this. I had these for a while and I wanted to use them up, and this one is 5.5 by 4 1/4. It's an A2 size card, and so I cut my pieces of watercolored paper. I cut them to 4 3/4 by about 2 inches wide, and then the backing I cut to about 2 and a little bit, like 3/8 maybe, and by tall 4 7/8. And then I'm going to use some of my Barely art glue on the back. I wanted to make sure that my pieces weren't really, I didn't have a lot of dimension on these cards because I'm going to put them in a box, and I just wanted to make sure that they were flat enough that they could just stay there. And so I'm just going to add some little lines of glue around the back. I had no problem getting anybody else to stay down. Of course, my very last one, it doesn't want to stay glued. So, you know, these are the things that happen to me. I don't even get it. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on the back and see if I can get it to lay down. I had to trim down a little bit there. I always like to make sure which side is my open side. And then these, you want to make sure that the stems come up from the bottom, in case you didn't know. I have trouble with that too, because this is a little bit unusual. This poppy stamp is a little bit unusual the way it's made. So that is that one. I'll show you the rest of them in case you wondered what they looked like. Here is one with a green edge border, I guess it is. Here is like a copper color with gold, white with green, gold with green, gold with gold, silver with red, green with white, green with silver, green with white, gold and green, white and green, and red and blue. So I hope that you like these and that you give this a thumbs up. And please tell your friends about me on social media, because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.